I've been experimenting with alt tech platforms to the big giants like Facebook and Google lately. So there are a few more channels that you can keep track of news from Kia Sigma Delta if you choose to use those channels. Before I go into that, I guess maybe why would we want an alternative to platforms that work very well? And I'd have to say the reason is freedom. So what's happening now is so many people are using these platforms that they are they're in a position to control the flow of information between the majority, like large numbers of the global population. So they're in a position to decide what we can say and to whom, and what we can find in our search engines, and what we're not allowed to know. Right? And that's very dangerous because sooner or later that level of power can be used to influence elections and everything. And sooner or later it's going to be abused. If not by the current business leaders, there are would-be tyrants circling around seeking to exert control and influence over the companies. Preferably, I guess they prefer to completely take them over so that they can control who gets to see what and basically push their propaganda through and block other people's viewpoints. In fact, to a certain degree, it's already happening. Right? Last year, the level of censorship under the guise of protecting us from misinformation, I can discern the difference between what's true and not myself. Thank you very much. But anyway, the level of censorship last year was embarrassing. And even more embarrassing is the fact that some of the censored misinformation later turned out to be true. Or if not definitely true, at least plausible or likely enough that it warrants a proper investigation instead of being dismissed offhand by some expert. So, if we want to maintain our freedom, if we don't want that level of control, we should be looking for alternatives. So I've been on the lookout for how I can reduce my dependency on the big tech platforms. I'm not there yet, but I'm certainly making progress. So first up, the Kia Sigma Delta website itself doesn't have any third-party tracking cookies on there anymore at all. It did at one point. I was always a little uneasy about it, but they're gone. And that includes Google Analytics. So there's no, Facebook and Google and others don't know that you're visiting my website because it's none of their business. I suppose via the YouTube videos, Google still has some limited knowledge. I'm using their no cookie domain just to reduce it. I have, and I'm paying for an alternative analytics package because I still want to have some statistics on how many people are visiting the website, where they're coming from, things like that. But it's it respects your privacy. It collects some minimal information. Again, no cookies. And you might notice that the Kia Sigma Delta website doesn't have one of those annoying accept our cookies pop-ups because it doesn't need to. The only cookies that get set are ones needed to use the website. There's none that are being used to track you around the entire internet, which is, what the Facebook and Google cookies can do, because they're on so many websites. So, I think some progress there. Now, in terms of news, if you're a Telegram user, there's a Kia Sigma Delta Telegram channel, link below. So you can use that to keep track of blog updates and things like that. Likewise, there's an interesting platform called Minds that I signed up for. All videos that I publish get synced to Minds as well. Minds is another one of those sort of distributed, decentralized theoretically decentralized platforms. That's a bit of a cross between, I'd call it a cross between Facebook and YouTube. Looked interesting enough to take a look. It suffers from the same problem that a lot of the other alternatives have, in that it's attracted the crowd that are most fearful of being censored or kicked off the big platforms. So there's a definite bias towards ranting about politics and, the kind of what's wrong with the other side of the political spectrum, why they are ruining the world, instead of talking about interesting, constructive stuff like, mega computers, electronics, how to make things, more interesting things. I think the platform has potential if more people start using it for things other than ranting about politics. In fact, I noticed that there was at least one Amiga computer group on there. However, it's dead because there were never enough Amiga users on the platform at the same time for any kind of discussion to start happening. So anyway, it's there if you happen to be on the platform and you want to use that to keep tabs on videos that I publish. Or if you're curious enough to sign up and try it out, it's there for you. Likewise, there's Library, which I've talked about before. Now, library.com still exists, but they have a nicer version called odyssey.com. They also have their actual peer-to-peer app. So that one is also for the YouTube videos. The Telegram channel will get you all the blog posts, including the non-video ones. These ones are basically video only. They're there again if that's one of your preferred channels to get news. The last alternative I want to talk about is called pre-search. So I was thinking one evening about how could you design a fully decentralized search engine so that people can search for what they want and there's no one central entity basically deciding what people can and can't find on the internet. And it turns out there's already a group doing it, and they're called Pre-Search. Their technologies, the idea is to have it, again, fully decentralized. I can't say if their search results are better or worse than DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo is I would say, one of the biggest alternatives to Google. And I've tried their servers. I like them, but Google's results are always better. So I can't say if Pre-Search is better or worse, but their results so far seem to be pretty good. So anyway, you're welcome to check that out. The link again below. It's not specific to anything. You will have to sign up for that one because they have a blockchain cryptocurrency base and you can earn tokens in their currency while searching to encourage people to start using the platform. It'll be interesting to see what that one becomes. So that's it for now. If there's another platform that you feel I should be checking out or should have Kia Sigma Delta's news published to, feel free to let me know. No guarantees because there are so many alternative social networks. There's no way I can keep track of or use them all. But you know, we're suggesting maybe I will, maybe I won't. In the meantime, yeah, if you use Telegram, that's your preferred way of getting the news, sign up to the Telegram channel. Obviously, Facebook and Twitter are still there. Mine's Odyssey. You can even use the RSS feeds off the website. And I always recommend people sign up to the mailing list, the email mailing list. Whichever channel is your preferred way of getting your news, you're welcome to use it. I'm just letting you know that they're there. So that's it for now. I'll see you next time.